Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Rich. All right. Happy Monday to everyone. Want to thank all my Patreon subscribers. You guys are kicking butt, and you keep me inspired to continually do daily videos. So, I got love for all my YouTube peeps, but the Patreon peeps, you guys are the ones that are keeping me on point. All right, so what I thought I would do is, because as more people are finding my channel, I'm getting asked similar questions quite a bit. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a series of videos that are going to cover all the basics. So if someone goes like, what tools do you use? I can go, you know what, check out the playlist for all the must-haves, or what I feel are must-haves. So anyway, I mean, we always talk about drawing. Obviously, the core of any good drawing is figure creation, figure invention. These are some of the best books that I think have come out in the last 10 years. So Michael Hampton's kind of a one-stop shopping thing. There's two versions of this book. And for the life of me, I can't find my second version, but you'll see if you look these up on Amazon or eBay or whatever, or even his site. There's two. They're pretty much identical. There's some pages that are different, but either one's going to get you going. And if you got the money for both, then might as well get both. They're not super expensive. They're not out of print or anything like that. What's nice about Michael Hampton's stuff is he kind of combines the best of all the different drawing approaches that kind of led up to him doing a book. So it's got Bridgman, it's got Loomis, it's got, you know, just all the good stuff. It's really, really solid. It's very palatable, meaning that they're attractive looking drawings that you can really kind of use for comic book work, you know. But yeah, so the Hampton books are really, really solid. Does he cover everything that you would need to know to draw comics? No, not really. If I remember correctly, there's not a lot of stuff on like facial expressions and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a core set of, say, 4 or 5 books, and I would suggest getting a few drawing books, meaning like anatomy books, you know. I'll have some other ones that I think are really essential, but, you know, look, this is nice. He puts this in here. You know, you see this in like a Peck's Anatomy book or Artistic Anatomy book, or, you know, any of those. And, you know, people like to see this stuff because they feel like they're really getting into the core of the figure. And, you know, coupled with solid dissection of the figure and learning the planes and the forms and how they interlock and stuff like that, it's all really going to benefit you. But anyway, we're going to keep this video at 10 minutes, so I'm not going to show you the whole book, but I just want you to get an idea of how attractive this stuff is, how well he lays it out. It's very clear text. You know, this is a book that you're going to want to just kind of keep with you until you really feel like you're comfortable with a lot of the stuff that he's showing you. He does a thing that's really similar to me where he breaks down parts of the body into colors. I always found that really handy to memorize things. So what I would do is I would assign colors to different parts of the anatomy, gesture stuff here. You'll see as we get further into the book. He talks about cylinders and how you know, things coming towards you and away from you, the perspective, and making sure that you have that volume to your figures. Really, really cool stuff. And, you know, boy, he just breaks down each part of the body in such a nice way. And, you know, you'll really, really walk away with this book with a greater appreciation, not only for this guy's artistry, but his teaching techniques. He does have stuff online. There's some online video stuff that you can find, and he also, I think, has classes that you can subscribe to. So the spine and how the juxtaposition of the torso and the barrel of the chest, or the hips, the juxtaposition of those 3 major, you know, sort of the bigger chunks of the body. How to think of the pelvis, some different shapes that you can sort of internalize. And stuff really, really helps, I'm telling you. So let's get a little further into this. It shows you how to light the figure, which is very nice. More gestures, and these are a little more refined. I would suggest kind of working more from stuff like this. I never found stick figures very helpful for me, but again, that's just me personally. But stuff like this, you're really kind of moving the figure more in shape, and there's more 3-dimensionality to it, so it helped me. But yeah, I just couldn't really. Stick figures just felt weird, like almost too simple. But you see how nice this stuff is? Can you imagine if you start incorporating this into your art, how dynamic it would be and solid it would be? And then again, I mean, for your sense of aesthetics, meaning like how attractive your people look, the types of characters that you draw, he doesn't really go into that too much. So that's where, for a comic book artist, you're either going to want to seek out other practice material or just come up with your own. You know, once you learn the basics of how to draw a face and keep it together where it's consistent, then you know, the real trick is just nailing it down, which is kind of what I'm working on right now. Is I want to make sure it's over. But yeah, like this stuff is a little more funky for me to work from. I get it though. I mean, I see what he's doing, and there's a little bit of that in my stuff. But okay, like, all right, so let's get. So maybe it's interesting. I think this one. So the other book actually kind of starts off with a different beginning. That's a little more. Where he goes through the anatomy and the arms and stuff, which is funny. I don't know what I do with that book. I'll do another video of that though. I'll come across it. I move books in and out of my office based on what I feel that I have a good handle on, what I don't. For whatever reason, this book ended up staying in the office, and maybe the other one didn't. This is really nice. Again, just beautiful planes of the body, really, really solid. This guy knows what's up. I've drawn that figure so many times. I don't even know if I learned it from him, but that's definitely a go-to if I'm running some licks, some drawing licks. I do this figure quite a bit. So head drawing. Again, stylistically speaking, this may not be your cup of tea, but he still really shows you how to move a cranium around quite well. So, yeah. Hopefully you're digging this. What do you think? Is this a good Monday video? Some nice drawing stuff. I want to get everybody, this is the transition into enjoying comics as a fan, watching some good inking videos. Now we're going to get down to business. The business is drawing. I'm like, just went from one deadline, finished a second deadline. I'm kind of going into two more. It's a very, very challenging time for me, but it's all right. I'm still sticking with YouTube. Ears, lots of different ways you can draw ears. Big ears, little ears, floppy ears. Same with noses. Usually in comics, we simplify the noses quite a bit more. But again, this is going to get you there. It's going to make you understand the forms and the planes and how stuff sits in perspective. And, you know, again, running through stuff like this is a little dangerous. You definitely always pair up your eyes. It's really good to draw like one eye, but you want to make sure that you're able to draw two eyes at a certain angle and have them work together well. So don't pull stuff out to isolate it for too long. Get the hang of it, and then immediately start to implement it into more fully realized heads and faces that are in different angles. Because yeah, if you work too piecemeal, I find that it doesn't seem to link up as good. Like this is a good example. Like, so he's got, I mean, he's showing an example, but you know what I mean? Like you're better off finishing that other eye, the one that's behind the nose. Like make sure you're completing stuff like that so that your stuff stays solid. Again, he did it here where he's got the front eye socket, which is easier to do, and then the back eye socket. It tends to feel like it sits at a slightly different angle, so you kind of tilt it a little bit. Kind of did it there. You can see it's just like this one, the one closest to us will feel a little more sort of straight across, even though it's not. It sits at an angle, but the other one behind the nose will really feel like it's at almost a more extreme angle because of the perspective slope. So you're going to want to get the hang of that. Profiles are always easy to do. Front views, you know, there's a challenge to them, but they're definitely easier to do. 3/4 view is generally pretty easy. 1/4 view is not too bad. But you start turning the head up and down, and it can get a little more challenging. Pretty cool stuff. So okay, we're closing in on 10 minutes. Okay, so this kind of stuff, but this is what I would do with all of the anatomy, where I would actually colorize things. And so when I would draw things at different angles, I would know, okay, like that muscle shows up just this amount. Oh yeah, here we go. This stuff. Yeah, so this was stuff that I was doing before I ever saw these books, and I found it pretty useful for practicing. Oh yeah, here we go. Isn't that cool? As long as you keep it consistent, like the bicep and triceps and stuff like that, and you can kind of, when you move your figure around, you'll start to see it in your mind. But I'm telling you, these books are fantastic. So highest recommendation. This is the reprint of the original book. I know that for a fact, looking at what we've seen right now, that the other one starts off differently. Yeah, if you can afford both, get both. And if not, either one will suffice. They all cover the nuts and bolts, and we'll get you there. This stuff is really cool. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Please smash the like, and yeah, go get your learn on. This is the time. This is the moment. All right, have fun. All right, bye.